Hello, my name is Russell at the Piano Outlet, and it's Sunday morning here, and this is when I like to do some of my technical videos. And actually this week we're getting ready to convert a Yamaha Disklavier C3 into a Yamaha PianoDisc for iPad. And you see to my right over here, this is a Yamaha C3. And what we've done so far with this piano is we've taken all the electronics out of it, so you see the piano is completely bare inside, and we removed the key bed. This unit over here is the key bed. And the reason why it's called the key bed, because this is where the keys rest. If you could picture this piece of wood here actually would go on the piano like this, and the keys would rest here. So if this were inside the piano, this is where I'd be playing the keys. And what happens in the Disklavier is, and with any player system, is that you need solenoids to activate the piano. And in the Disklavier, this is a solenoid rail. And if you've seen any of my other videos, one thing about the Yamaha system is made very well. You've got to give them credit for that. This is pretty solid. It weighs probably about 40 pounds. And really nothing can kill it. So that's why these systems pretty much run forever. But in any event, the problem with them is that you can't upgrade them, and they're pretty they get obsolete pretty quick. So anyway, this piece actually came out of here. It wasn't here. The bottom of this was actually under the piano, and this section here actually sat in here. Okay, so when you slid the keys in, then these little solenoids here would activate the keys. In a piano without a player system, this is all solid. Okay, so what happens is that when you push the action in, these are on the Disklaviers, these are stops, and these stop the action, so it can't go in any further. If this was not a Disklavier key bed for a C3, this would be solid, and you'd have these pieces here doing that job. There's actually several more, probably maybe one more of these. And so this would be solid, and the key bed would go up to here. But in these Disklaviers, you have a hole here, so you don't use these, and instead they actually put these little blocks here, and they put these stops. Now, one of the reasons why I'm showing you all of this is because I just want to let those people who have me do this conversion for them, I just want to let them know that when we do this conversion, the reason why I outline these is because we actually replace them back, so everything is replaced back to the way it was. As if the piano left the factory when we put the solenoid rails in for the PianoDisc. Same thing with these. These also get replaced. The modification that we do when we put the PianoDisc system is this slot is basically the same size as it would be for PianoDisc. We only have to add about a little bit of wood over here so that when we put the key bed back on the piano, if you were to look underneath, this hole is actually a little bigger than it needs to be. So we're actually going to put a little filler here, and then paint it black, and you'll never know it's there. Then these solenoids here, which are PianoDisc, actually get installed in this position underneath the piano, and this section here, this part here, is basically flush with the top here, and then these pistons really wind up being in the same place as the Yamaha. Now you'll notice one big difference of the PianoDisc pistons, or solenoids, they're all in one line. Where you see here, the Disklavier, they're parallel. So you have a white key, black key, white key, black key, and so on. And so what happens with the Disklavier, it actually takes up a lot more space, whereas the PianoDisc system doesn't. And also, if you ever have to service a PianoDisc solenoid, you just unscrew it, pop it out, put another one in. You can't do that with this. The other side over here is the difference between the key, the action on a Disklavier piano and a non-Disklavier piano. So this is the same action that came out of the C3, and I've already removed the screws. I'm going to take the hammer stack off so you can see here. Put this here and remove some keys. And here, actually, this piano still has the record strip in it, which I have to remove. All these keys are going to come out. I'm going to unscrew this, and this is going to come out because we're not going to be using that anymore. But in a non-Disklavier piano, this piece of wood is actually all the way out to here. But in a Disklavier or a PianoDisc piano, we have to have this space because this is where the solenoids are that move the keys up and down. So when this action gets put back into the key, onto the key bed, into the piano, you have this big space, and that's where the solenoids are. So if you come over here, I'll show you. This is a non-Disklavier piano, and as you can see the difference, the camera come around this way, come around this way. By the way, my son's the cameraman, so Anyway, so you'll see the difference over here. You see the wood comes straight out, and that's the difference between a non-Disklavier action and a Disklavier action. And we don't have to do any modification to the action when we convert it from a Disklavier to a PianoDisc. It's perfect the way it is. It's one nice thing about the Disklaviers and doing the player systems, one less step that we have to worry about. Another thing nice about the Disklavier pianos is they have different legs, because what happens is this is a standard Yamaha leg, and you'll notice the top of the leg here, because this is the top when it goes like this, is a lot wider. Actually, this is a standard Yamaha leg. It goes on the back of the Disklavier piano, but the front legs are different. They're a little smaller, and the reason being is that if I were to take this leg over here and put it underneath the piano, this leg actually goes here. Okay? And what happens is that because you have this slot here, if I was to put this leg on this key bed, just pull this key bed down just a little bit. If I were to put this here, you'll see I could put this leg underneath, and it does not interfere with the hole. A standard leg, however, try to put the standard leg on, and if the camera could focus on this hole here, you'll see that it actually comes right up into the hole here. And if you see, I hold this up here, see my hand, you see the leg? It comes out into the key bed. That's why on PianoDisc pianos, what we do is we actually don't install the last few solenoids on either end, because you really don't use the last few bass notes and the last few treble notes in a lot of piano music, most of it. And so what happens is that we'll delete some of the solenoids, but we still actually have to make a cutout in the leg. But what's nice about the Disklavier pianos, the leg is already set. You don't have to make any cutouts. Again, another step. So basically, that's what's entailed with a conversion from Disklavier to PianoDisc, and that's what we're going to be doing today. And actually, maybe I'll show you this piano again in our next video after our next step is done. Thank you.